Mourning doves are back for another nesting season here in northeast Iowa. We can sometimes find a few brave mourning doves that spend the whole winter here, but most of them like to stay where it's a little bit warmer, and they'll move south to places like Missouri or Arkansas. A few mourning doves even migrate all the way down to Texas. But they're back here now, and you might see them in your backyard, especially if you feed the birds and you're putting out some millet or cracked corn on the ground. They don't like to feed on an elevated feeder, so they do prefer to have their seeds down on the ground there. If you want to keep them in your yard and have them nearby all summer long, they like to nest in kind of dense conifer trees. So spruce or arborvitae would be a good choice to get planted somewhere in your yard, and not just one. You'd probably want a clump of like 2 or 3 of them so they've got a little better shelter there. But I think we all enjoy listening to the sad sounding but yet very soothing sounds of the song of the mourning dove on a nice warm summer night. Now that the snow has melted away and the weather is finally starting to warm up this spring, skunk cabbage is starting to bloom. These are really neat plants. If you've never seen a skunk cabbage before, we do have them growing here at Lake Meyer Park, by the way, but you look for them in woodlands that have some wet soils in them. So they'll usually be associated with a spring or a seep, and it could be on a hillside or right down at the bottom of a hill. For that matter. But anyway, skunk cabbage is a pretty cool plant. It actually produces heat as it grows. One of the few plants that can do that. And so the temperature inside of that red vase, it kind of looks like there, which is called a spathe, can be 20 degrees warmer than the outside air temperature. Now, inside that structure, you'll see a little slit there on the flower to the or the plant to the left, and there's a little structure in there that holds some flowers, and it gets pollinated by little flies that go in there looking for warmth, and they crawl around on the flowers, and then they go to the next plant, and that's how skunk cabbage gets pollinated. But if you're out and about now, the skunk cabbage flowers and those red structures don't last that long. Maybe 3 weeks or so. So get out and find skunk cabbage soon if you want to see this very neat flower. These colorful little scarlet cups are one of the first fungi to start fruiting on the forest floor now in early spring. These are not really big mushrooms. Usually they're only maybe about the diameter of a nickel or a quarter. Sometimes a little bit bigger, and they usually come in a kind of a cup shape like we see here, but sometimes they're open a little bit more like a saucer. But they are not too hard to see. And they kind of brighten up, boost our spirits, you might say, on a cold, damp spring day for a walk in the woods. Then, but if you go down and try and pick one up, they're always going to be attached to a dead stick. They don't grow right out of the ground. They, by the way, I don't know that I'd want to eat one myself, but they are supposedly edible. Let's put it this way: they won't hurt you. But to me, it'd be kind of like eating a rubber band. But I guess some people like to put some little spices or a little condiment inside of one of those cups and then enjoy it. So if you want to try something different, I guess you could eat a scarlet cup.